A former member of One Direction, Liam Payne, has died.
Have you ever been blindsided by the news of someone's death?
The Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
So sudden, so unexpected, that the world seemed to stop for a moment?
That basketball legend Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash.
These were the people who brought us joy, inspiration, and unforgettable memories, only for their lights to go out far too soon. From the brightest stars of Hollywood to icons of music and sports, their losses left a void in our hearts that can never be filled. Today, we're taking a journey through the stories of those whose sudden departures shook the world to its core. This is part one of Sudden Deaths That Made the World Cry.
As the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Have you ever wondered how one voice can change the course of history? Martin Luther King Jr., born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, was that voice, a beacon of hope during the civil rights movement. From the Montgomery bus boycott to his iconic I Have a Dream speech at the 1963 March on Washington,
Just as I have a dream.
King dedicated his life to justice and equality. His fight wasn't just a political battle, it was deeply personal. A preacher at heart, King believed in nonviolence, drawing strength from his faith and the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. His vision united millions, but his path was fraught with resistance. Arrested more than 20 times, his life was constantly under threat. Yet he pressed on, becoming the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. But on April 4, 1968, his journey was tragically cut short. As he stood on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, preparing to lead a workers' rights march, he was fatally shot. The news of his assassination sparked riots across the U.S., leaving the nation in mourning. Even in death, King's dream lived on. His legacy endures in every step toward racial equality, reminding us that one person can indeed make a difference. As we reflect on King's extraordinary life, we move to another icon who shattered barriers in a different way, a man whose music and charisma redefined an era, but whose fame carried a tragic price.
So it goes, some things are meant to be.
What happens when a man becomes larger than life? Elvis Presley, born on January 8, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi, transformed the world of music and entertainment. With his swiveling hips, unmistakable voice, and groundbreaking blend of blues, country, and gospel, Elvis became the king of rock and roll. From Heartbreak Hotel to Suspicious Minds, his music electrified audiences, earning him global fame. But behind the glittering jumpsuits and adoring crowds was a man burdened by the weight of his stardom. By the 1970s, Elvis's health began to decline, exacerbated by a grueling schedule and dependency on prescription drugs. On August 16, 1977, the world was stunned to learn of his death at the age of 42. Found in the bathroom of his Graceland mansion, the cause was heart failure, likely worsened by his drug use. Fans mourned the loss of a legend, with thousands flocking to Memphis to pay their respects. Elvis's influence didn't end with his death. His music continues to resonate, and his image remains a symbol of rebellion, passion, and individuality. While Elvis left a legacy of music, the next story is one of unimaginable heartbreak, a child star whose life was tragically stolen at the hands of someone she trusted most.
Spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
How does one even begin to mourn a life stolen so young? Judith Barkey, born on June 6, 1978 in Los Angeles, California, was a star on the rise. With her angelic voice and undeniable talent, She charmed audiences in beloved films like The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. She was the kind of child who lit up the screen, her voice full of life, hope, and promise. But behind the glitz and glamour, Judith's life was a nightmare. Her father, Judith Barkey, was an abusive alcoholic who tormented her and her mother, Maria. His rage simmered beneath the surface, manifesting in terrifying threats. Before Judith left to film Jaws: The Revenge, he reportedly held a knife to her throat and warned, "If you decide not to come back, I will cut your throat." The emotional toll on Judith was profound. Her agent described her pulling out her eyelashes and even her cat's whiskers, a heartbreaking sign of her escalating distress. On July 25, 1988, Joseph's fury erupted in unimaginable violence. He shot 10-year-old Judith while she slept, then turned the gun on Maria. Finally, he set their house ablaze before taking his own life. The news sent shockwaves through Hollywood and left fans heartbroken. How could such a tragedy happen to someone so innocent, so full of potential? Judith's death was a wake-up call about the silent suffering that can hide behind closed doors. It's a haunting reminder of the importance of recognizing and acting on the signs of abuse before it's too late. As we grieve for Judith, we turn to another story of sudden loss. This time, a princess whose compassion touched millions and whose tragic end left the world mourning.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
What makes a princess beloved by millions? Diana, Princess of Wales, was not just a royal figure, she was a symbol of compassion and humanity. Born on July 1, 1961, Diana captivated the world with her grace, her warmth, and her dedication to causes like AIDS awareness and the fight against landmines. She redefined what it meant to be royal, stepping beyond tradition to connect with people on a deeply personal level. Yet, her life was far from a fairy tale. Her marriage to Prince Charles was filled with public scrutiny and personal heartbreak. After their divorce in 1996, Diana remained a global figure, but the relentless pursuit of the press became suffocating. On August 31, 1997, the unthinkable happened. Fleeing paparazzi in Paris, Diana's car crashed in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. At just 36 years old, the People's Princess was gone.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
The grief was immediate and overwhelming. Millions poured into London to lay flowers and pay their respects. However, the monarchy's initial response, viewed by many as distant, faced criticism. Queen Elizabeth II, initially hesitant to allow a full state funeral for Diana, eventually relented in the face of public demand. What followed was one of the most emotional displays of collective mourning the world has ever seen. Diana's funeral was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people, a tribute to her extraordinary ability to make everyone feel seen and valued. What hit me the most? It was the small, simple envelope placed on her coffin. Written on it in a child's handwriting was a single word: Mommy. That brief, heartbreaking gesture captured the depth of their loss and reminded us all that Diana wasn't just a global icon. She was a mother, beloved by her boys above all else. Her legacy lives on through her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, and the charitable work they continue in her honor. But Diana's death also served as a turning point, raising awareness about the invasive role of the media, a lesson that still resonates today. As we remember Diana, we turn to another figure whose death left the world reeling, a king of pop whose music transformed everything. How does one man redefine the music industry? Michael Jackson, the king of pop, wasn't just an entertainer, he was a phenomenon. Born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, Michael's journey to stardom began early. At just 6 years old, he captured the world's attention as the lead singer of the Jackson 5, dazzling audiences with his charisma and vocal talent. His solo career skyrocketed in the 1980s with record-breaking albums like Thriller and Bad. Michael wasn't just a musician, he was a cultural force. From his gravity-defying moonwalk to his unparalleled music videos, every move he made changed the game. But fame came with a heavy price. Michael lived under intense scrutiny, his every move analyzed and criticized by the media. On June 25, 2009, the world was shocked by the news of his death. At 50 years old, Michael died from acute propofol intoxication, a powerful anesthetic improperly administered by his personal physician. His sudden passing left fans and fellow artists grieving across the globe. Vigils lit up cities worldwide as millions remembered the man who had given them Billie Jean, Beat It, and so much more. Despite the controversy surrounding his later years, Michael's legacy as an innovator and philanthropist remains untouched. He paved the way for countless artists and remains one of the most influential performers of all time. As the music world reeled from his loss, another tragedy, this time on the big screen, left fans mourning the end of a beloved actor's life.
This is your car. My car?
What does it mean to live life in the fast lane? Paul Walker, born on September 12, 1973, in Glendale, California, was best known for his role as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and Furious franchise. On screen, he was the ultimate adrenaline junkie, seamlessly blending heart and horsepower. But off-screen, Paul was a humble, generous man who loved his family, the ocean, and helping others. Paul wasn't just an actor, he was a philanthropist. In 2010, he founded Reach Out Worldwide, a disaster relief organization that reflected his commitment to making a difference. Fans admired him not just for his action-packed roles, but for his genuine kindness and down-to-earth personality. On November 30, 2013, tragedy struck. Paul, a passenger in a Porsche driven by a friend, was killed in a high-speed crash in Santa Clarita, California. He was just 40 years old. His death devastated fans and left a massive void in the Fast and Furious family. The film series honored him with an emotional farewell in Furious 7, featuring the now iconic tribute song, See You Again. Paul's legacy isn't just in his movies, it's in the lives he touched and the causes he championed. His life was cut short, but his memory lives on in the hearts of fans and friends worldwide. As we bid farewell to Paul, we turn to another musician whose creativity knew no bounds but whose life ended in tragedy. What happens when an icon becomes eternal? Prince Rogers Nelson, born on June 7, 1958, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, wasn't just a musician, he was a revolutionary. Known simply as Prince, he blurred boundaries in music, fashion, and identity, creating a legacy that defied categorization. From hits like Purple Rain and When Doves Cry, to his bold fight for artistic freedom, Prince was always ahead of his time. A multi-instrumentalist, he often produced entire albums single-handedly, showing a level of dedication and talent that few could match. His flamboyant style, fearless creativity, and refusal to conform inspired generations of artists to embrace their uniqueness. But on April 21, 2016, the world lost this musical genius. Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator at his Paisley Park estate. The cause of death? An accidental overdose of fentanyl, a powerful opioid disguised as counterfeit pain medication. His death was a devastating reminder of the growing opioid epidemic, affecting even those who seemed untouchable. In the days leading up to his death, Prince had shown signs of declining health. Footage revealed him visiting a doctor and appearing frail, even as he continued to go about his daily life. On April 20th, just one day before his passing, he was seen biking and making brief stops around his community. To his fans, he appeared determined to carry on, even as his struggles grew more evident. Fans around the world mourned the loss of a true original, flooding Paisley Park and public spaces with purple tributes. Prince's legacy remains alive in his timeless music, his bold advocacy for artistic independence, and the inspiration he continues to provide to dreamers and creators everywhere. As we reflect on Prince's extraordinary life, we remember another young star who touched millions before his life was unexpectedly taken by a silent medical condition.
No. You're just gonna leave me with it? Come on.
How can someone so young leave such a lasting legacy? Cameron Boyce, born on May 28, 1999 in Los Angeles, California, had a smile that could light up a room. Known for his roles in Disney Channel hits like Jessie and Descendants, Cameron was beloved for his charm, talent, and humor. But Cameron's impact went beyond the screen. He was a passionate advocate for social causes, using his platform to raise awareness about gun violence and clean water initiatives. Friends and fans admired him for his kindness and desire to make the world a better place. On July 6, 2019, the world was stunned to learn that Cameron had died in his sleep. He was just 20 years old. The cause was sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy, SUDEP, a rare condition that few had even heard of before his passing. His death shone a light on epilepsy, sparking conversations about its risks and the need for greater awareness. Cameron's death was a profound loss, but his legacy continues through the Cameron Boyce Foundation, which supports causes he held dear. His life, though short, made an immeasurable impact. As we mourn Cameron, we turn to a story of a legendary athlete whose tragic death shocked the world and left an enduring legacy.
There was a young basketball player who had dreams of becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
What happens when legends fall from the sky? Kobe Bryant, born on August 23, 1978 in Philadelphia, was more than just a basketball icon. He was an embodiment of hard work, dedication, and excellence. From the moment he stepped onto an NBA court at just 18 years old, he captured the hearts of fans worldwide with his unparalleled talent and relentless Mamba mentality. Over 20 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe became one of the greatest to ever play the game. 5 NBA championships, 2 Olympic gold medals, and a legacy of unshakable determination cemented his place in history. Yet, his life after basketball was equally inspiring. He became a devoted father, a storyteller who won an Academy Award, and a mentor to countless young athletes. But on January 26, 2020, the world was shattered. Kobe, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others lost their lives in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. They were on their way to a youth basketball tournament when tragedy struck. The other victims, coaches, parents, and young athletes, were equally cherished by their families and communities. Their collective loss left an indescribable void. The grief was global. Vigils were held in cities around the world, and fans flocked to the Staples Center to honor their hero. But beyond the accolades and records, Kobe's greatest legacy was his role as a father, his commitment to mentoring the next generation, and the inspiration he gave to dream big and work harder. As we remember Kobe and all those lost on that tragic day, we reflect on the fragility of life. From the heights of his career to the depths of this tragedy, Kobe's legacy continues to inspire.
Seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone.
What happens when fame meets an untimely end? Liam Payne, born on August 29, 1993 in Wolverhampton, England, skyrocketed to fame as a member of One Direction. The boy band, formed on The X Factor in 2010, became a global sensation, selling millions of records and capturing the hearts of fans worldwide. Liam stood out not just for his deep, soulful voice, but for his songwriting talent and charm. After One Direction went on hiatus, he pursued a solo career, releasing hits like Strip That Down and collaborating with major artists. Yet Liam was always candid about his struggles, speaking openly about the pressures of fame, mental health battles, and personal challenges. On October 16, 2024, tragedy struck. While staying at the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Liam died after falling from a third-floor balcony. At just 31 years old, his life ended far too soon. Reports indicated a night of heavy drinking, with hotel staff raising concerns about his erratic behavior. Investigators believe he may have been attempting to lower himself from the balcony when the fatal fall occurred. The loss sent shockwaves through the music world. Fans mourned the artist who had been a constant in their lives for over a decade, and tributes poured in from around the globe. Former bandmates shared heartfelt messages, with Zayn Malik displaying "Love You Bro" at one of his concerts, a touching reminder of their shared bond. Liam's death is a tragic reminder of the fragility of life, even for those who seem to have everything. Yet his legacy endures in the music that continues to inspire, and in the millions of fans who will always remember the boy with the big voice and bigger heart.
Know that in the morning now, see us in the light upon the hill.
The pain of sudden loss is a universal feeling, and these stories remind us just how fragile life can be. While their lives ended abruptly, their legacies continue to inspire and resonate with millions around the world. Which of these stories moved you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for part 2, where we'll uncover even more stories of sudden losses that shook the world. Cherish your moments, and we'll see you in the next video.